And we're back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our third segment, which is going to be talking about the Houston Astros and the recent news around them, just some recent transaction-related stuff that I did want to touch upon and just give my 2 cents on. So, recently, they did have Christian Javier go to the injured list with some arm discomfort, and I did want to talk about that. And then they also called back up Jose Abreu to the major leagues after he was sent down to the minor leagues for just some kind of just getting himself better. I mean, he had a really, really horrible start to the season. I mean, it wasn't just like a general like, oh, this is really bad. No, he had a real bad start to the season. I mean, again, it's not a lot of times where a veteran of Abreu's caliber, who was a former MVP, is agreeing to go to the minor leagues to get his swing right, but that's how bad it was. So we're talking about that. So first starting off with Christian Javier, he did go on the 15-day IL for the Astros with some discomfort in his arm, which is always something you want to watch out for, and always something that is a notable story in this league, especially this year, as I've called it a few times in the show. It is the year of the pitcher injuries. I mean, every single pitcher, it seems like, has gotten hurt this year, and mainly pitchers with velocity as well. So anytime you have a pitcher nowadays, I mean, anytime especially, really, but right now, definitely, with an arm injury, you have to take full precautionary measures and do anything you can to avoid the dreaded two-word Tommy John. I don't think I phrased that right, but you get what I mean. To avoid Tommy John. So I think the Astros saw this and were immediately like, yep, we're putting him in the IL. You know, it's a second time going on the IL this year. We don't think it's anything serious, but it's precautionary. We don't care. We need to. We're not taking any chances. And I think that's the right decision. You look at the Astros this year, you look at how many pitching injuries they've endured, how many pitchers have gone in the IL. I mean, again, some of them are back ready, like Verlander, but you could make a rotation with the guys that are on the injured list for them. Lance McCullers, Luis Garcia, you had Framber Valdez, now you have Christian Javier. I'm not sure if Valdez is off yet. We'll have to see about that. But, yeah, I mean, just the amount of pitching injuries the Astros have endured is pretty incredible. And just really unfortunate. It does seem like Valdez is off the injured list. But as far as I've seen, he has not done that well for the Astros. So kind of another situation there to look out for them. But, yeah, I mean, just really unfortunate what's happened with the Astros this year. Again, we know about them. Third in the AL West. 5 games under 500. Not playing up to their standards, I'd say. So, yeah. If I'm an Astros fan right now, I'm not feeling great about the team. And I think Javier going on the IL is just another extension of that. Just another way of saying, oh, this guy again on the IL, another pitcher on the IL. Oh, I mean, the amount of bad luck they've had this year is pretty incredible. Now people could argue, well, you know, it's just them kind of getting karma for all those years being so good and the cheating and all that. I don't really agree with that. So it just is unfortunate with all the pitching injuries they've had this year, and Javier going on the IL is just another step to that. Verlander has continued to do well for them since coming off the IL, been a solid pitcher. But, you know, are you really going to rely on this much from a 40-year-old to not get hurt again? We'll have to see. So, yeah, it is an unfortunate situation here for Javier to go on the IL, but the Astros pitching stats really got to step up. They could swing a trade. I mean, we saw already one trade before with Luis Arias going to San Diego, early trades this year, so if you want to do that, go ahead. But also, I think the Astros are determining themselves, are they going to sell or are they going to buy? I mean, as much as it's kind of crazy right now, are we sure they're going to buy at this point? I mean, this team, yes, they've been great these years. They've been great these past few years. They're, on paper, one of the best rosters in baseball, but they're third place in the AL West right now, 5 games under 500, have really not done well this year. I think they're determining their own path, and it's going to be interesting to see what they end up doing. And, yeah, just very interested to see. So, yeah, Javier going on the IL, a big negative here for the Astros, I'd say. After that, though, Abreu coming back to the major leagues. It's going to be very interesting to see what does end up happening with Abreu. Now, he did hit an RBI yesterday for the Astros against the Mariners, which is a big positive there. A very nice job. Astros did end up losing, but so a nice job there for Abreu to get a hit. He went 0-7 in AAA when he went down to the minor leagues. But again, I wasn't really looking for that. Whenever you on rehab assignments or anything like that. You're not really looking at, you're not really exactly looking at the results. You're looking at the process. Does the player have himself back? Like when pitchers perform, you don't want to look at, oh, they gave up 5 runs in 3 innings. Yes, you don't want that obviously, but it's not really exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for, do they have the stuff? Is their windup back in place? Are they feeling good when they pitch? So it's kind of all those things, and I think that's what you're looking for with Abreu, and the Astros think they saw that obviously, and you know he's now back, and it's going to be interesting to see how he does end up hitting. He did make an error yesterday, which caused the Mariners to score a run. So, give and take, getting an RBI, letting in an RBI. But I think Abreu is a big part of this Astros lineup. And I think when you pay him all this money like you did last year, you never really spend it for aging contracts other than him and Hader, which have kind of been, seems like outliers for this team and their process. So when you spend all this money on him, you're hoping to get the MVP Abreu that was there with Chicago. And he just has not been that so far. And I think he needs to start doing better. I think he's a big part of this Astros lineup, a big part of the middle of the order of this team, a big right-handed bat with all these big left-handed bats, Jordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker. I think that he brings a good amount of versatility to that lineup. You already have other great right-handed hitters, of course, like Altuve, like Bregman. So just adding another one like that would be great. So yeah, if I'm the Astros right now, I'm really hoping Abreu can get it going. I think he's a big part of this team and is going to be a huge part of what they end up doing this year and how they do end up performing. So, yeah, really hoping that does end up happening, and really hoping that he does end up performing really, really well. You can only hope. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch Abreu throughout the year and seeing what does end up happening with him and see what he does end up doing throughout this year. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. For the Astros now, just overall, it's going to be a very interesting year to watch. I've talked about them multiple times, but they are one of the most intriguing teams throughout this year. I mean, if they continue the streak, I think they are going to be one of the most disappointing MLB teams maybe ever. You had one of those last year already with the Mets, and they ended up trading one of their big pieces to the Astros and Verlander, so you might follow that up. But you look at this Astros team that just went to the American League Championship Series for like the 6th time in 7 years or something crazy like that last year. They just added the best closer in baseball, Josh Hader, and right now they're 24-30, and they're third in the AL West. So I think if they continue playing like this, it will be a huge disappointment, and it's going to be something to really watch throughout this year. And are these things that just happened, Javier going to the IL, Abreu coming back, are they going to help them? Are they not? Obviously, I think Abreu will help. I don't know if Javier will. So, yeah, it is going to be interesting, and it is going to be something that we watch out for. And just, again, I'm going to be very interested to see this Astros team throughout this entire year and seeing what they do, what does end up happening with them. So, yeah, definitely a very interesting situation here in H-Town, and something that is really going to be a big storyline throughout this entire year, and something that I'll definitely be watching. So, yeah, definitely be seeing that, and definitely watching this entire team with the rotation, their offense. Again, the rotation has dealt with so much this year. I think they need another arm if they want to compete. But again, are they even gonna buy is the question. So that's something I'm definitely seeing and definitely watching, and definitely very interested in seeing. So, yeah, we'll be seeing that. And, yeah, that was our segment here about the Astros and just some recent transaction with them, what's going on with them, and just my overall thoughts. Moving into our 4th segment, which is going to end up being talking about not Robert Gasser, just the Brewers in general, I should say. The Brewers-Cubs game. That's what I'm trying to say. I saw the picture of Gasser, and my mind got a little confused there. But, yeah, so we'll talk about that, and we'll see you after the break. So thanks, and bye.